What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Happy Friday. What's up? What's up? What's up? Now listen, you guys. If you watch the Real Housewives of Miami, then you know the new housewife, Stephanie Soji, I believe is her last name. And if y'all have been watching my reviews, y'all know I'm not really feeling her. Okay, I'm not really feeling Miss Soji. You know, just it's not my thing. You know, not my cup of tea. She came on the show because she used to date Dr. Nicole's ex. I'm sorry. She used to date Dr. Nicole's current boyfriend / father of her children. What's up, Phil? Hey, boo. And I'm sorry. And as a result, that's why I think she was born on the show. Y'all know how these housewives shows are. They're messy. They try to bring up people from your past to create the conflict, to have the issue or what have you. Well, I think Dr. Nicole pulled a Uno reverse on them, and she decided not to come back this season for a variety of reasons. So that storyline sort of went left because Nicole wasn't there for them to pick on or whatever. Stephanie came on last week's episode. We saw her in her private jet flying to go pick up her dogs from Orlando. And we've seen her basically bragging on all the things that her and her husband have, how they built this empire, this real estate empire, and she's the vice president, and all of these things. Now, this week's episode, there was this scene that I told you guys I found it to be very fraudulent, right? I found it to be a very fraudulent scene with her going into one of the buildings and doing this inspection, and her husband was with her. And she explained to us how her and her husband met and things of that nature. So you know what happens on these reality shows. The minute you put yourself out there, people start digging. And there was a TikTok video that I came across. Well, actually, somebody sent it to me, if I'm being honest. So let's look at the TikTok video first, and then we're going to talk about how, where that sort of took us. Okay. So let me share my screen so y'all can see this TikTok video or Instagram video. Hey, everybody coming in. Yana, Felicia, how you guys doing? Hey. Cindy. Okay, can y'all see it? Make sure y'all can see. All right, let me make it bigger so you guys can kind of see. Oh, shoot. That's not what I meant to do. All right, let me play it. I'm going to play it twice. Okay, I'm going to play it twice.
Of Miami found this Reddit thread. Remember how Stephanie said the way she met Masood?
I met Masood at a Miami Heat game when I was 26 years old and he was 50.
She was actually Masood's ex-wife's assistant. That's how she met Masood. And then she had an affair with Masood and got her way into the company like that. Stephanie says she's been with her husband for 11 years, but he was officially divorced in 2019. Apparently, Stephanie legally changed her name to Masood's last name while he was still married. Stephanie and her husband are also being sued for $10 million that they allegedly owe a Miami real estate lender. His ex-wife and 2 daughters do not speak to him. Shoma Group was actually funded by his ex-wife's father. According to this Reddit post, what it appears like is Stephanie stole his ex-wife's life. Now, she wasn't really on my radar until she went on Watch What Happens Live, and this is how she answered this question about Gertie.
I just want to know why Gertie just wants to hold grudges. Like, just let it go.
So that caught my attention, and I said, let me look into this lady. And sure enough, she's not who she appears, which I think we all could figure out, right?
Okay, the video's delayed. The sound's not matching the video, but I'm gonna play it again so y'all can hear it. Make sure y'all hear it. I'm gonna let it play it one more time. Lord. Hold on. Okay. Did y'all hear that? I just want to make sure y'all can hear it. I'm going to let it play one more time, but I want to make sure y'all heard it. All right. Let me see. Hold on.
I knew I didn't trust Stephanie, the new cast member of Real Housewives of Miami. Found this Reddit thread. Remember how Stephanie said the way she met Masood?
I met Masood in Miami Heat game when I was 26 years old and he was 50.
She was actually Masood's ex-wife's assistant. That's how she met Masood. And then she had an affair with Masood and got her way into the company like that. Stephanie says she's been with her husband for 11 years, but he was officially divorced in 2019. Apparently, Stephanie legally changed her name to Masood's last name while he was still married. Stephanie and her husband are also being sued for $10 million that they allegedly owe a Miami real estate lender. His ex-wife and 2 daughters do not speak to him. Shoma Group was actually funded by his ex-wife's father. According to this Reddit post, what it appears like is Stephanie stole his ex-wife's life. Now, she wasn't really on my radar until she went on Watch What Happens Live, and this is how she answered this question about Gertie.
I just want to know why Gertie just wants to hold grudges. Like, just let it go.
So that caught my attention, and I said, let me look into this lady. And sure enough, she's not who she appears, which I think we all could figure out, right?
All right, you guys. So first of all, before I go any further, I want to say that all of this is alleged. I don't know these people. I wasn't there. Okay. So everything that was said in that video, everything that was on Reddit is all alleged. But let's dig into the alleged of it all. Okay. So allegedly, you were the assistant to his ex-wife. I don't know if that's his first wife. You were allegedly the assistant to his ex-wife, and that's how you met that man. That is if you are not the cliche, if it's true, you are the cliche of it all, girl. You are the cliche of it all, ma'am. That's number one. Number two, you said that y'all have been married for 11 years, but his divorce allegedly wasn't final until 2019. What up, Danny Boo? Now, I am no mathematician. That is not my strong suit. But I feel like I can subtract 11 from 2025, and I don't think I come up with 2019. I just don't think that's what the math is going to give me. If I subtract, I can subtract, carry the 1, divide, and multiply, and that's not going to give me 11 years. Now, that is alleged, but that's public information. Now, I didn't Google it to find out, but that is just simple public information to find out what year that man's divorce was final. Now, that caused me to do some digging, okay? And I found, actually, there are 3 websites. There are 3 articles, and there's 3 articles, and then there's one lawsuit that I found online. Now, the second article, for some reason, Tracy has sent me an article, and for some reason, it's gone. I don't know where it went. Maybe Tracy texted it to me, because sometimes Tracy be texting me, and sometimes no, she didn't text it to me. But it doesn't matter. You get the gist of it. But I don't know why I don't know where it went. Because she said this morning she sent it to me. Hold on. Because she sent it to me this morning. And again, I don't know where it went. It doesn't matter. Baby, I have a website and I have an article. Let's look at the article first, because the lawsuit is a little complicated. So let's look at this article first. Let me share the screen and we're going to read through this article. Now, the second article, I don't know why I can't find that second article. But the second article is very similar to this article. So we're just going to read through this one, child. We're going to read through this one. And this is recent. So let's get into it. This is recent, you guys. So this article, it's called The Real Deal. It's a real estate news article. Real estate news website coming out of South Florida. If you look on here. Oh, Lord. Child, these daggone pop-ups. Hold on. Dang. Hold on, y'all. This thing won't let me get rid of this daggone pop-up. I don't want to claim the offer. Where do I X out of this thing? Maybe it's not letting me get to it. But I just read this article. Maybe that's why the article went away, because maybe you can only click on it one time. All right, give me a second. It says loan trouble for Miami Real Housewife and hubby. Lender sues Stephanie and Musad Soji over alleged unpaid $11 million debt. The date on this, it's not letting me scroll down. Hold on, give me a quick second. Because I literally just had this article pulled up. But you know, sometimes on these websites, it limits the amount of times you can look at an article. So maybe it's not letting me look at it again. So let me try to pull it up on my phone. It may let me pull it up on my phone. Because sometimes that's what it does. It limits you being able to look at this stuff more than one time. Hold on. All right. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. The website was pulled up, but like I said. Okay, here it is right here. Now, this is from December the 13th. December the 13th of 2024. I'm going to read you guys this article. It says Musad and Stephanie Soji are facing a lawsuit from an aggressive lender seeking repayment of a $10.5 million loan. It's called Right Meow Capital, a Delaware entity, filed the complaint in Miami-Dade Circuit Court against the Sojis and two trusts under Musad's name, alleging they defaulted on a promissory note by failing to repay the debt on November the 7th. Hold on. The loan's collateral is the retail component of Shoma Village, a mixed-use project with 304 apartments. Shoma CEO Musad claims Meow Right is playing hardball and that the lender proposed excessive terms when they requested a 2-month extension on the loan. He stated that the lender threatened to sue after Shoma refused to agree to the terms. According to the promissory note, Musad and Stephanie are personal grantors who would need to show a balance sheet of at least $80 million to replenish interest reserves and pay a fee of $78,000 to extend the maturity date. The Sojis obtained the initial loan in 2019 for $8.6 million, which was paid down to $7.4 million before being increased by $3.1 million last year. This lawsuit is the latest in a series of litigation targeting Shoma, including a recent suit from the Condo Association of 1030 over alleged construction deficits. So, looks like there's a couple of a couple of lawsuits coming her way. But here is one. This lawsuit that I found online is also very interesting to me. Now, remember, I am nobody's attorney. But we're going to read through this lawsuit to the best of our ability, okay? All right, because when I read through it, let me tell you what my understanding is very similar to the lawsuit we went over yesterday, dealing with Faith Evans and Miss Wallace, Biggie's mom, as it relates to a trust being put in one person's name, then being put in another person's name, and the proceeds, and yada, 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 and boo, boo, boo. Okay. So let me scroll up. Now, this is a lawsuit. I'm going to scroll to the top, but I'm going to skip down to when it explains what's going on. This is an ongoing litigation. As you can see, this was filed. This filing is in 2023. So this lawsuit started like back in 2011, I think. But what's basically being accused is Stephanie's husband is is being accused of setting up a trust, putting his children's name on the trust as a way, to make sure they're getting some money. You know what I mean? Like a trust fund for them. But then after he married or got involved with Stephanie, somehow Stephanie got involved in it. And allegedly, he's being accused of using money from the trust to basically bankroll their lifestyle. So that's what this lawsuit is about. So I'm going to read you guys the facts of the case. You see here, I'm not going to read all of that, child. We're going to scroll down because this was going back and forth in court. I know how they do. They file in briefs. They file in this. They file in that. So I want to just go over what the details of the case are. So in April of 2021, this court rejected Stephanie Soji's attempt to quash an order denying her motion for a protective order. So she was trying to get out of having to sit for a deposition, basically. And the court was like, nah, you got to come and answer these damn questions. All right. So here is the statement of facts. Mr. Soji's company, Santa Fe, so that's different from Shoma. Santa Fe Haciendas LLC is a Florida limited liability corporation funded and managed by Musad Soji. Santa Fe's principal business is derived from a substantial amount of rents, royalties, and licensing fees. It receives from rock miners and farmers that have licensed and or leased portions of 18 plus acres of land that Santa Fe owns in the western quarter of Miami-Dade County. Now, this sounds like some tenant farming stuff to me. The farmers are paying you to lease the land so they can farm. This sounds like some tenant farmer stuff. Y'all put something in the chat and let me know that's what it sounds like to y'all, because that's what it sounds like to me. But okay, we're going to keep reading. Mr. Soji amended Santa Fe's operating agreement in November of 2008. Pursuant to that, any distributions made to Santa Fe members are derived from Santa Fe's available cash. The amended operating agreement also puts significant limits on affiliated transactions between Santa Fe and its members and managers. Okay. On December 18th of 2012, Mr. Soji created and named himself settler of M&M Life Insurance Trust. So that is the trust. Soji's daughters, Libet Soji and Annalise Soji, were the named beneficiaries. The North Trust Company was the initial trustee. So he started a trust. He put his daughters on the trust as beneficiaries, and then he named Northern Trust as the trustee. Again, similar to what we were talking about yesterday, where Biggie's mom started the LLC, and she was the trustee of the LLC until she named Mr. Barrow the trustee, I guess when she felt like her health was failing or what have you. The trust, okay, so after the trust was founded, it acquired legal title and beneficiary equitable right to 75% of Santa Fe's membership interest, while Mr. Soji took legal title to the remaining 25% under the name of another trust that he controlled. The success of Santa Fe is the lifeline of the trust, given that Santa Fe's revenues are the main revenue stream for the trust to provide. So the money that he was collecting from Santa Fe, 75% of that was going into the trust, 25% was going to a different trust. The way I understand it. Now, again, if y'all understand it differently, y'all tell me, no, really, B, that's not what it's saying. Because, just let me know. But that's the way I'm understanding that. Okay. Okay. On or about February the 15th of 2018, trustee replaced Northern Trust as trustee of the trust. So trustee replaced Northern Trust as the trustee of the trust. Good Lord. In 2019, trustee discovered that Mr. Soji was taking millions of dollars of Santa Fe's available cash for his own use without notifying or obtaining permission from the trust or the trustee. So again, this sounds very similar because the trust, the people who are the trust for this account are the ones that it looks like are suing Mr. Soji. And they're saying, listen, we realized that he was taking money that he was not entitled to, nor was he going through the proper process and getting permission to take this money. Miss Soji, that would be Stephanie, posted on her social media accounts pictures of her and Mr. Soji with luxury cars and purses, among other things. This gave the trust concerns that Miss Soji was also benefiting from the millions of dollars that Mr. Soji took from Santa Fe for his own personal use. And then it goes into what happened in court with the lower court, and then it's talking about how Miss Soji was subpoenaed, and then she didn't want to testify. And it just gets into the back and forth of the legal battle. So it sounds like there have been some questionable movement on, as it relates to Stephanie and her husband for a while, right? Again, these are all accusations. I'm not saying that any of this is true. I'm not saying that she stole the money. I'm not saying her husband mismanaged the money. I'm not saying she was the other woman. I'm not saying none of this. I'm saying all of these things are alleged. I'm just bringing y'all the information. Y'all can do with it what y'all want. Y'all can address it accordingly. I am just providing the information. But what y'all think? Stephanie, I don't understand why these people go on these reality shows knowing they got skeletons in their closet, knowing they got dirt around their doorstep. I do not understand it. You know you had these lawsuits out there. You know the blogs are going to dig in your background. You up here acting like y'all got private jets and y'all driving $250,000 Bentleys and all this other stuff. And you got all these, every scene, you got a different Birkin bag. And you know the people was going to go through and find all these damn lawsuits against you. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, child. I'll talk to y'all later. We're going to do a tribe meeting, but I'm about to push the time back. I think I scheduled it for 2 o'clock. I think I'm going to push it back to 3 because I got to go run an errand real quick. With that being said, y'all, I will talk to y'all later. Peace. We just met her last week. They swooped in on her quick. They did. But it doesn't take long. Like, literally, all I did was type in her name and type in lawsuit, and it literally popped up. Like, you ain't have to do much. You know what I'm saying? It literally popped up. Anyway. All right, y'all. We'll be back at, like I said, probably closer to 3. I got to go run an errand real quick. And then we'll do our tribe meeting, and then I'll do my Big Brother review. I just said last night I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew Stephanie wasn't right. Yes, Sierra. Something ain't right with her. Something ain't right with her, honey. All right, y'all. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Like I said, I'm going to run this errand and I'll be back. We'll do my live when I get back. We'll do Big Brother tonight. We'll do a tribe meeting. Tomorrow's Beyond the Gates. Okay? All right. Peace.